everybody, it's Shantae. Today we're doing something a little bit different and honestly a little bit embarrassing. I'm going to review some of my content from my very first year as a social media manager and break down what I would do differently now. And you know what? Everyone starts somewhere, and I definitely had some questionable choices in my early content, but I think there's real value in looking back at where we started, especially if you're just beginning your social media management journey. You'll probably see some mistakes you're making right now and hopefully feel better about your own learning process. Okay, first one, I will say this was in 2019. You know what? I don't hate it. It's very clear. This was my old branding colors. Yeah, the graphic looks okay. I will say people don't necessarily know what this means, like checkerboard patterns, puzzle grids, thick white borders on every post, too many stock photos. That one's pretty self-explanatory. And then one note branding photos. Like, while this did get a decent amount of engagement, 326 likes, we had some comments going in there, and there was more information in the caption. I will say what I would fix, aside from having this, instead of being a square, being the 3x4, which you couldn't do back then, but you can do now. So that's what I would fix now. For the caption itself, I do have a hook here, which has emojis, which is great, has all caps, which is fine, it has an arrow to keep reading. I like that it has a bulleted list here with like an emoji to start it. However, this is a lot of text for a bullet. I would break it up or make it more concise, or maybe even not do it as a bullet at all. These are really tough to read, big chunks of text. People don't want to read big chunks of text when they're scrolling through Instagram. Typically, they want quick bite-sized entertainment content. So having these maybe checkerboard patterns as like the header, and then having maybe bullet points with like a little dash. It's all about authenticity. Pre-planned, screams trying too hard, comes across as less genuine and personable. So it's just like a bullet list underneath that. So that's what I would do for all of the points. I don't have a call to action, which is fine. I wasn't really trying to get anything aside from building authority here. So that's what I would do. Okay, next one. Ooh. I'm going to swipe through the carousel so you can take a look at it. So this was the header. This was the first slide. We have swipe and learn over here, which is good for a call to action. We do have a header here. Let's swipe to the next page. Okay, that's slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, slide 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have 7 slides, which is a decent length. I usually like to keep carousels between 6 to 8 slides, at least right now, because people, again, they want things quick. They want to be entertained, and if you're not going to entertain them, then they're gonna keep scrolling. What I would change about this specific slide, we don't need the follow at. We don't need the tiny website text. Nobody can see that on their phone, and nobody's going to even do that. Like, they're not going to type this in. It's not going to happen. If you want to follow call to action, it needs to be large, and it needs to be after you've provided some value. So last slide, third slide, fourth slide, something like that. As far as the design goes, it is very busy. And you know what? This was my branding back in the day. I did it myself. It's fine. This photo is what it is. But I would say that we need to clean it up a little bit. It would be great if the header text was larger. So what you need to know about the algorithm took up more space. That's the big, catch. That's the hook. That's the curiosity builder. And it kind of gets lost and fights visually with what you look at first, which is also the swipe and learn. I do like the swipe and learn idea, but I think it should be quite a bit smaller, and maybe over here on the right-hand side, because that's where people swipe to. As far as the background, it fights with everything else that's happening. So if I wanted to keep that pattern, I would decrease the opacity so it's a little bit transparent, a lot more subtle, and I think that would help. So that's that. Next slide. This one isn't bad. It does have the follow at and the website. Website does not need to be on there. It doesn't need to be on there. You can have follow, like on the slides smaller. That's fine. I don't think people ever really do that from this type, but you can have it on there if you want. Icon is cute. The transparent background here, that's perfect. That's what I wish I would have done on the first slide. As far as the design, like it follows the hierarchy. You look at the icon, and then you look at the headline. Then there's like a visual divider, so it's not a huge chunk of text. This is 3 lines. This is 3 lines. It makes it very easy to look at. And then this is still a decent amount of text, but the way that it's positioned, the size of it, it seems like it's easy to read. Yeah, I would change the design and things, but overall, it's not a bad slide. Slide 3, I love that I still do this now, but a little tip, when you have carousel slides, make sure that they do not look the exact same as you slide or people will get bored. So you gotta change up the design. I changed up the background here. This is a bunch of text in one. I wish I would have broken it up into 2, or yeah, I wish I would have broken it up. I don't like to do more than 3 lines in a row because then it's like people feel like they're having to read a paragraph. It's more work. So wish I would have split that up or made it more concise. I do like the little extras with the icons. And again, I have that arrow, which is great. I also have, it looks like markers on the right-hand side where I think that's changing. Oh, it's not even on that slide. Is it changing? No. Okay, it's just a design. It's a design. Okay, I don't know that we necessarily need that, but it's fine. Okay, and then we switch the design again, the background. It's a transparent background. That's great. I like not all engagements created equal. It could be larger. There's a lot of empty space here. That could have been much larger. Really nailed the point home. And this could have been larger as well, but otherwise, design-wise, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. And then this slide, I did change the background. I don't like it this bright, and again, need more transparent so that our eyes look at the text, which is the most important part. Again, wish this would have been larger, most powerful to least powerful. This does not make sense. I would have changed it to most powerful, or maybe even important. I don't know that I would use the word powerful, but that's neither here nor there. So like best, and then I would rank them vertically and like show most powerful, least powerful, and then like a down arrow so they can see like, okay, maybe even I would put saves as number 1, shares as number 2, comments as number 3, likes as number 4. Now, back in the day, again, this was 2019, that was the order. That's not the order now. Shares is the most important, but that was the order then. Man, those were some good times. Much easier to grow. Okay, next slide. This looks okay. Yeah, aside from like a little bit of text changes and making it a little bit easier to read, because this is about 6 words per line, which feels, again, like a lot for people. I would maybe scooch it in a little bit so that it's like 4 or 5, depending, words per line so that it looks easier to read for people. And then the last slide looks fine. The type hierarchy here isn't great. You're not sure what to look at first. Pro tip does have a highlight, but then check your insights is the exact same size and width as pro tip, and so is this one. So they kind of fight with each other as far as what you should look at first. And then this is fine as far as that goes. So that's what I would tweak. A call to action here would have been nice for the follow. So remove the website, and then for more tips like this, follow for more, or something like that. As far as the caption goes, I have a lot to say about this. So that was really common back in the day of using a type generator to like change what your text looks like. so that it looks bold, or it looks, sometimes they have like a fancy script or anything. This is not very accessible for people who are using screen readers, so I would change this completely. You could put it in all caps if you wanted to show like the hook is a little bit different, or you can just write it as the first line of text, which is what I do now. And again, these are huge chunks of text. Break them up so that it's easier to read. Yeah, this looks good. And I would have, again, numbered this 1, 2, 3, and 4 just to make it more clear. And here we go again. I also did the text change. Wouldn't do that. This could probably be like a bullet list so that it's, again, easier to read, because if you look at this, that's a giant chunk of text nobody's going to read. And I do have a call to action here way at the bottom, which is great. Scroll up and tap the save button, which is totally fine. I would have liked to separate it a little bit further down so it kind of stands out on its own. And then, back in the day, we had to use these to break up the hashtags. You couldn't just do an enter space. So that's what I would have done for that one. And then this one is the correct size that you would use now. And it's just an image. It's not a carousel. See it, like it, want it, got it. That's great. I do have my username in here, very, very small. I guess it was supposed to kind of function as a watermark. If I'm going to put it in there, I might as well put it in there so that people can read it and know who posted it. But I do like this. It doesn't necessarily explain what it is I'm talking about, like the buying decision journey. I would maybe work on the hook here a little bit more so that it explains itself. Obviously, these are lyrics from an Ariana Grande song, but I would have done this as a carousel. Carousel would have been better. See it, like it, want it, got it. That could have been slide 2. Slide 3 is the buying decision, and then slide 1 is its own hook. Something about Ariana Grande and what does she have to do with marketing, or something like that, and then the following slides would have taught more about it. Here we are seeing again the text change. I wouldn't do that. Break up the text a little bit more so it's easier to read. I do like this, aside from the text change, but it does look like a bulleted list. There are emojis in here to kind of keep it fresh so people know what you're doing. It is a lot of emojis. I would not use as many as this, but I do like them in like the headline, the subheadline here, and the orange heart matches the orange picture, which is cute. Same thing. This is a huge chunk of text. Break it up, cut it down, put it in the carousel. Same thing. The call to action here is great. Tap save and follow to see more tips. Except for this part. Again, change that into regular text. It looks good. And then I even have a question call to action, which I like. I would put it above the call to action though, for the save. People might not scroll all the way down here, and if I want people to comment and respond, I'm going to put that further up. So just swap the directions of those, and then also, again, make it regular text. Okay, this one is just a selfie. And, it did okay. But if I wanted to really build my authority here and catch people's attention who are interested in what it is I'm talking about, I would not put my whole story in the caption. I would put it in a carousel, or even nowadays a reel would work. But like, this is a good hook. It ties it into marketing and how that all works. And this is broken up into text really well. My call to action is not the best. Book a free consult call with me directly on my website. I would remarket that. Let's figure out how to get your marketing into va-va-voom mode. Like, that's cuter. I would have maybe led with that. But when you have a call to action, you really want to write it in a way that, like, what are they going to get out of it? It's not the free consult. They want to make a good first impression, or make sure they're making a good first impression, which is what this is all about. So that's how I would change that, but otherwise looks fine. And then the last one is about insights. This one was in 2018, so a little bit later than that. I'm going to ignore the insights are my jam because that has nothing to do, like clients are going to click on that. Potential clients are not going to click on this. They don't care about me, what I'm good at. How are the insights going to help them and their business? That's what they want. I do know things that have like results we got our clients recently or how we got our client this result and to be specific. Those are ones that they click on, but they're not going to click on this. It's also hard to read what the insights are behind. I would have focused on the numbers, like showing those off a little bit more, not covering them up in this background. I was very much into colors then. But yeah, screenshots are great, but I would have given a little bit more context. What does this mean for them as far as reach goes? What does this mean for them as far as impressions go? Was this part of their goal? What did we do? And obviously this is turning into a carousel versus a photo image, but that's what I would do. As far as the caption, it's pretty short. There's not a whole lot in there. Again, it's about myself, and I'm asking, do you love them or hate them? Which seems like more of a social media manager question than a business owner question. This could be more a teaching moment about what insights do, why they're important, maybe emotionally connecting if you don't ever look at your insights, or how to understand your insights, or how to use your insights to measure your KPIs, like stuff like that. So this one has potential. It was an idea. It was not fully fleshed out, but that's what I would have done. And there you have it, a very honest look at my early content and all the ways I would approach it differently now with more experience under my belt. If this was helpful and you want to keep learning from my mistakes and wins, the back office has everything you need to avoid the trial and error phase I went through. You'll get access to over 50 detailed trainings that cover client acquisition, pricing strategies, content creation systems, and all the business growth frameworks I wish I had when I was starting out. Get your free access at the link in the description. And if you're still here, please let me know if you enjoyed this by engaging wherever you're watching, liking the video, following the show, or DMing me. Your support is what keeps me inspired to continue creating this content while I'm handling all the production and editing myself. You know where to find the links. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you next time.